Do you feel like the actions that you take every single day reflect what you truly deserve? Or do you think that they reflect what you think you're worth? Take a moment and actually think about, what do you think you're worth? Welcome back to another episode of Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. I'm Sanj, and as always, I'm here to try and help you master your mindset so you can master your life. So you can wake up to a life where you're excited, enthusiastic, and energized every single day. Today, we're going to be tackling something that might just be the key to transforming your life, and that is your self-worth. So here's a quote from Dr. Maxwell Maltz, and he was the author of Psycho-Cybernetics. And the quote is, "Low self-esteem is like driving through life with your handbrake on." And that's what we're talking about today. Self-worth and self-esteem. And here's the thing, whether you realize it or not, you act in alignment with how you view your own self-worth. If you believe you're capable of great things, you'll act like it. But if you don't, well, then you're going to settle. And so today, that's what I'm going to be talking about. What self-worth really is, and then why so many of us struggle with it. Yeah, so if you're ready to take that handbrake off and start living the life you deserve, let's begin. So let's first start off with talking about what is self-worth and why is it so important. Self-worth is actually your internal sense of being good enough, being valuable enough, and deserving of love, respect, success. It isn't tied to anything about what you do or what you have. It's simply the belief that you as a person are inherently worthy. So it's not to do with any materialistic things whatsoever. It's your belief in yourself. And it's so important because your self-worth determines the choices you make in life. It determines the goals you're pursuing, the relationships you allow into your life. If you don't think you're worthy of success, you won't put yourself out there for opportunities. If you don't believe you deserve respect, you'll tolerate poor treatment from those around you. People with higher self-worth are more likely to set and achieve ambitious goals and report greater satisfaction. The reason is because they believe that they are able to do it. They are worthy. So think about it for a second. If you believed you were worthy of happiness, love, and success, would your life look different? And self-worth is one of those things it's easy to struggle with, because the three common reasons why we struggle with it is because past experiences, because you tie your self-worth into things that have happened in the past. Maybe it's failure. You failed to get the job you wanted. You failed exams. You had a bad relationship. The next thing could be rejection. Again, rejection because you didn't get in a relationship. You didn't get accepted into university or whatever. Or maybe even a comment that someone you cared about may have said to you. Yeah, when you're a kid, your self-worth is determined by your parents. So if they're constantly telling you that you're bad, that you don't deserve things, or giving you negative talk all the time, you're going to start to believe it. Over time, you're going to internalize these experiences, and you're going to start seeking it as evidence that you're not good enough, and you're going to struggle with your self-worth. The second thing is comparing yourself to others, and comparison, we know, is a thief of joy. And with the world we're in today, it is so easy to compare yourself. It's constantly in front of our faces. With social media, you're constantly exposed to people who seem to have it all figured out. The perfect life, the perfect family, the perfect job, the perfect body. Yeah, it's easy. And the third thing is actually seeking external validation. And this is where you're basing your self-worth on external factors like your job title, your approval of others, your appearance, the amount you earn. And that's just a recipe for disappointment, because those things are not in your control. Your struggles with self-worth are actually because you're looking outside of yourself for validation rather than recognizing your internal value. You're too busy asking and seeking approval from everyone else, from social media. You've got to, it's externally, you've got to look like that person. You've got to have a family like that person. Or you're seeking external validation. You're looking for those pat on the backs to be told you've done a good job. You're looking for, oh yeah, I've got to look a certain way, and someone's got to comment, oh yeah, they like my outfit. So you're trying to get all your self-worth from all these external sources, but none of them are in your control. None of them will actually change anything. Because if you're still thinking to yourself, you need all of these, if 10 people say to you, oh yeah, I like your shirt, I like your dress, and then say one person turns around and says that shirt doesn't suit you, or that dress doesn't suit you, the problem is you're then going to focus more on that negative comment as well than the positive one. And what's that then going to do to your self-worth? It's going to take a hit. And so you need to start actually looking inside, internally, and start raising your self-worth. Because when you start to raise your self-worth, it's life-changing. When you start to actually believe in your value and believe in your own worth, you start to set higher standards. Whether it's in relationships, in your career, how you treat yourself, you stop settling for less. You know that actually you're worth more than that. You're not going to just settle in your career. You're going to be pushing for that next promotion. In the relationships, you're not going to accept anything less than fantastic. You're going to be treated the way you want. You're going to be treated, and you're going to make sure you're treated the way you believe you should be treated. You're going to start treating yourself better, because again, your self-worth is up. Your self-worth is up, your value is up. So how do you treat yourself? Better. You're going to stop settling, and you're going to start actually pushing for the best life you can have. You're going to start taking bold action, because you're going to start going out and putting yourself in front of these opportunities where you used to think things were out of your league. It was too good for you. It happened to someone else, but not to you. You're going to start doing these things because, again, you believe you're worth it. And after doing these things, when you know your worth, you're going to feel happier and more confident. You're going to stop seeking the approval from others, and you're going to start living for yourself. You're going to be happy with yourself. You're going to be pushing yourself to live the best life you can. And when you're doing these things, when you've got higher standards, when you're taking the action, when you're doing things to make you feel more confident, it's going to seep into every single area of your life. It's going to be long-term happiness, because you're making decisions that align with your values, with your goals. By raising your self-worth, it's like planting a seed, because it grows into every single area of your life. It's difficult to get through the past, to stop looking externally. But when you actually take the time and work on it, when you start to actually think to yourself, no, I don't need the approval for others to find my value. I need to see the value in myself. That's when you're going to start to change everything. And so if you want to raise your self-worth, there are 5 ways and 5 things you can do today which can actually start to help you. Number 1 is start challenging your self-talk. Stop talking crap to yourself. Stop insulting yourself, criticizing yourself, berating yourself. Replace negative thoughts with affirmations. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, try saying, actually, I'm not good enough yet. That shows that you're trying. That shows that you're pushing yourself, that you're getting better. Yeah? A tip for you today, write down 1 affirmation and repeat it to yourself every single morning. While you're brushing your teeth, stick it on a post-it note on your mirror and repeat it to yourself every single morning. See after 1 week how you're feeling. Yeah, say, I'm going to make today a good day. Yeah, see what that does if you're repeating it to yourself in the morning for that 2-3 minutes while you brush your teeth. Constantly, I'm going to make today a good day. I'm going to make today a good day. You're going to start noticing that actually today becomes a good day, because that's what you're programming your mind for. You turn around, you put, actually, I am worth more I am worthy of a good day. I am worthy of a good day. You're going to start believing. You're going to start thinking in that way. You're focusing your mind on that. And you're going to start to notice why it's such a good day. The second thing, stop comparing yourself to others. As I said, social media is a nightmare at times. It can be used well. You can either make it your master or it can master you. But remember, it's a highlight reel. It's not reality. Focus on your own progress. Celebrate your wins. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. Run your race in your lane. Yeah. And your action tip here is delete or mute any stories or people who just make you feel bad about yourself. Yeah. If you can do it, take a social media detox and see how it impacts your mindset. The third thing, surround yourself with positive influences. I know I say this a lot, but honestly, the people you surround yourself with make a huge difference. Yeah, people who you spend your time with, it matters. So if they're constantly bringing you down, it's time to set some boundaries. 4, take care of yourself. When you start to actually prioritize your physical and your mental health, you're sending yourself a message. You're saying, I'm worth it. Exercise, eat well, make time for rest, meditate. Actually schedule 15 minutes of self-care into your day, whether it's a workout, whether it's meditation, or just sitting there reading a book. Do something where you're looking after yourself every single day for 2 weeks and see what difference it makes. And then finally, as always, celebrate your progress. Give yourself that pat on the back. Be proud that you're making that progress and you're taking that step forward. Yeah. When you can write down something that you're proud of. And after a week, that's 7 things you've got to be proud of. After a month, it's 31 things you've got to be proud of. After a year, there's 365 things you've got to be proud of. And think how that will make you feel differently about yourself. Yeah, if you act in alignment with what you believe you're worth, if you want to change your actions, you have to change your self-worth. So what's one thing you can do to start showing yourself that you're worthy of the life that you actually want? Is it setting a boundary with those who you believe need to treat you better? Is it speaking nicer to yourself, being kinder to yourself? Or is it just taking a step forward to build up that confidence towards a goal that scares you? Your self-worth isn't determined by your past. It isn't determined by your failures or anyone else's opinion. It's determined by how you decide to see yourself. And you are worthy of an extraordinary life. But do you have the power, the mindset to build it up to what you want? Thank you for tuning in today. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs that little reminder of their worth today. And always keep pushing yourself, keep challenging yourself, keep growing. Remember, your mindset is the key to your best life. When you master it, you'll master your life. Thank you.